Well, I'm sure you're dying to bring some images into Adobe Illustrator. We've been looking at the little ugly circles and rectangles I've been creating. Yes, you can actually bring images into Illustrator, but if you're going to bring them into Illustrator, most likely these images are going to be for the world of print. Making a poster, a business card, and you want them to be as beautiful as possible. So there are some considerations to take into account. What image type do you want to use? Do you want to bring in a JPEG file? Do you want to bring in a TIFF file? And what about DPI? And how do you actually bring the image into Illustrator? And we're going to talk about something that I use frequently, which is about image type. And what if you want to have it? What if you have an image and it's just like a face and you don't want a white background? You just want the face to come in with just the hair and just the head. Well, how do you do all of that? Well, we're going to get all of that done now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Photoshop. And I have this nice beach image here. I do a lot of covers for people that put books on Amazon.com. And so I do the covers. I've got to get a background like this, put some people in front of it. And I buy my images from Dreamstime, DREAMSTIME.com. And, you know, you can set up a deal with them where you can buy like 10 images a month for like $40 or whatever you need. They have like everything that you need. Now, the beautiful thing, I'm in Photoshop and I have pixels up here. This image is 4,500 pixels wide and about 3,000 pixels tall. Let's see, what is that in inches? I mean, this is a huge image. Pixels, inches. Wow, so that thing is it's like 16 inches wide and 11 inches tall. I would call that a rich image. And let's talk about the DPI. DPI is dots per linear inch. So DPI, you want your images that you are bringing into Adobe Illustrator to be, if it is print work, you want DPI to be 300 DPI. And let's zoom in here. We're going to zoom in as far as I can. We can still see my rulers. Let's show you what DPI really means. Okay, so I did it again. Okay, so here's my ruler. Here is 1 inch. From 0 to there is 1 inch. Let's zoom in some more. Here we go. Okay, let's move over here. All of these little dots, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about these little squares. That's what DPI is, and you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's move over here and let's zoom out. Okay, what I want to see, okay, I can see the 1 over here, and I can't see the 1 over here, but 300 DPI means it means that from these two blue lines from here to there are 300 dots in 1 inch going up and down. So you need somebody with a camera that can bring in the quality like that. And let's see what we can find out what the DPI of this image is by just going up here to image size. Here we go. Now we're in Photoshop. This tells us the width, the height, and notice that the resolution is at 300 DPI. That's what that is, 300 DPI. So you only, in the Illustrator environment, you only want to bring this image in at 300 dpi. And if you're doing print work for a client, find out who their printer is and always talk to the printer and find out exactly what they want. Okay, so we're going to use this image. I'm going to double click the hand tool and zoom out. I have another image. I want to put this couple in front of this beach. But notice that there's no background. These little gray and white squares, that is symbolic in Photoshop for transparency. So if I bring this into Illustrator as a JPEG, the JPEG file format does not support transparency. So if I make this a JPEG file, it's going to come in with a white background. So that doesn't happen, in Illustrator and Photoshop, they both have this thing, export, save for web. And I'm just curious, can I just go file, save as? Let me try this. Photoshop, yeah, I can just save it as a PNG file. I don't trust doing this because there are two types of PNG files. So to avoid that situation, I'm going to go File, Export, Save for Web. This may take a little bit of time. Okay, so we're at the point where now this is a PNG 24. We have a PNG 24 and we're going to click Save. Put it in the folder that I want it to go into, and there we go. Okay, so we have both of our images ready to go. Let's bring these images into Adobe Illustrator. So let's get rid of these little yellow circles. So to bring any image into Illustrator, it's as simple as going to the File drop-down menu and Place. File, Place. Who would know, right? Okay. So I go File, Place. And I navigate to the folder where my images are. And first I'm going to bring in the Beach Really Good image. And I click Place. Okay, then all of a sudden my cursor has the image on it. And for practical purposes, you want to have this image all ready to go over in Photoshop. Or whoever is doing your images, you want to tell them the width, height, and DPI that is needed. If you need an image 3 inches by 4 inches, you need to do all of that over in Photoshop. But for now, I can come up, you can see the arrow in the upper left-hand corner, and then you just drag this thing until it is where you want it to be, and let go, and there's your image. Okay, you can see the image is in the layer palette. Something that might be hard to see is this blue line that's going through the image. And I'm going to change the color of that. As we talked about in our layers video, that's just kind of like the color of selected objects for this particular layer. If I double click the layer name, I can change that color. I'll make it yellow so you can see it more easily. Okay, so there you go. This yellow line means that, or the yellow X, means that the image really isn't there. If you save this file right now and send it to the printer, they won't have anything. Right now, Adobe Illustrator electronically is looking in the folder where the image is, and it is sending the image information into Adobe Illustrator so it appears as though it's there, but it's not. You send this to the printer right now, he will have, or she will have, nothing. All they will have is a blank screen. So if you see this X going through the middle of the image, the image is selected in the Properties panel. If you don't see your Properties panel, you can go Window, Properties, poof, and there it is. And with the image selected with the black arrow tool, all you have to do down here at the bottom is click Embed. Boom, I click Embed. Now when the X goes away, the image is actually there, and you can actually send it to the printer and they will have the image. Now let's bring in the couple. Now I'm going to go File, Place again. And, oh no, where did that? There we go. There's the PNG right there, and there they are. I'm going to place them. And I can see them on my cursor. I'm just rolling the cursor around. I'm not dragging. And then I just drag across. And they get the X too. Notice that they come in with no background. They come in with a transparent background, which is perfectly what I want. Oh, this looks like a book cover getting ready to happen. I'm going to click the Embed button. There you go. So we have both of our images in there. We can use our layers or however we want to make a background, add some text, and pretty much that is how you bring your images into Adobe Illustrator. Yeah. Oh, now, if you brought this couple in with a background in the existing image, there is a way in Illustrator to get rid of the area going all the way around the couple, and that would be called masking. And we will do masking in a separate video, but it would be a lot easier to do this over in Photoshop, though using the masking technique in Illustrator, it can be done.